Okay, I did a video the other night, Isaiah 2000, and I just added some more to the title talking about Egypt and Iraq, and so here I am now in Isaiah chapter 17, and that's the burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Down in verse 3 it says, the fortress also shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. And then they shall be as the glory of the children of Israel, said the Lord of hosts. And in that day it shall come to pass that the glory of Jacob shall be made thin, and the fatness of his flesh shall wax lean. Over at verse 7, I'll start from there. It said, that day shall a man look to his Maker, and his eyes shall have respect to the Holy One of Israel. And he shall not look to the altars, the work of his hands, neither shall respect that which his fingers have made, either the groves or the images. In that day shall his strong cities be as a forsaken bow, and an uppermost branch, which they left because of the children of Israel, and there shall be desolation. Because thou hast forgotten the God of thy salvation, hast not been mindful of the rock of thy strength, therefore shalt thou plant pleasant plants, and shalt set it with strange slips. And the day shalt thou take thy plant to grow, make thy plant to grow, and in the morning shalt thou make thy seed to flourish. But the harvest shall be a heap in the day of grief, and of desperate sorrow. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations, that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them. And they shall flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like the rolling thing before the whirlwind. And behold, at evening time trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. Burden of Damascus. Right now, that's capital Syria. And once again, it's like Isaiah 2012. I mean, Syria has been basically getting turned into a ruinous heap, as they say. Yeah, a ruinous heap from this civil war that's been going on, and the death toll is climbing. And when it comes to people in their power plays, it's the citizens who always get the brunt of it. And I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles nowadays. But it's like no land is going untouched over there. I mean, even Turkey's involved. Lobbing missiles back and forth with Syria. I don't know if they're still doing anything and they're not reporting on it, or they stopped. But it's just like, just as in Isaiah, again, I'll say that a lot of these lands were getting afflicted. Same thing is happening now. They got one here, in chapter 14. I'll go to verse 29. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestine, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken, for out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety, and I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Howl, O gate, O cry, O city, thou whole Palestine, art dissolved, for there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. Palestine, and I mean, who don't know what's been going on with the Palestinians? What's been happening to them? Getting bombed, shot, whatever, run over by tanks. Their conflict with Israel, and so again, it's just Isaiah just playing out bit by bit, and like I said, there's much more. I'll just go through a chapter or two because it's, like I said, it's a lot of chapters in this book. But people should really pay attention to what's going on out here right now. It's getting real. It's been real, but now it's starting to like just be played out like your favorite sitcom or something. It's all in our faces. Something's definitely changing around here, and we need to be ready for it.